This video contains commentary. What's crack-a-lackin', my magical little dudicorns? Welcome back to Storytime with your favorite Reddit fairy. My name is Lorna, and today we're getting into some r/ChoosingBeggars. But that's not all. We're gonna get into some r/IDONTWORKHERELADY and some r/IDOWORKHERELADY. So without further ado, smash that subscribe button, sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. Why can't I have your new computer? I don't want your old one. Posted by user ZivaWK9. I recently got a new laptop and I love it a lot. It replaced my old Toshiba laptop from 2011 or 2012. Because of the recent beer illness, there are only online classes, and my friend does not have the sufficient technology to participate in the online classes. I was FaceTiming him and we were talking about school being cancelled and online classes starting. I brought up my old laptop. Below is how the conversation went. Me: you can borrow my old laptop. Friend: that Toshiba? Me: yeah, it's not the best, but it works for Google Classroom and Docs. Friend: that thing is shit. Why can't I have your new laptop? Me: because I need that. I offered you my old laptop, not my new one. Friend: you have your big PC. That one is good enough. Me: yes, I do, but I don't trust people with my new laptop, and I need to use that if I go anywhere and can't bring my PC. Friend: I thought we were friends. Friends help each other. You're a rich kid. I hate being called that because I am not. I just work for the stuff I want. Me: I'm trying to help you, but you clearly don't want it, and I don't want to give it to you anymore. I hung up the FaceTime and ignored all his texts. He is a nice guy, but can be an asshole sometimes. If he's a nice guy, why is he why? Why do they think, what? I don't get it. You offer them something, and that's not good enough. It's what are you trying to do? It's better than what you have now, clearly. Why are you so choosy? Are any of you taking online classes right now? I'm really curious. I would like to go back to school, but it's the going to the school part that I don't want to do. I want to take some online courses. I have no idea what I want to take, but how is the experience? Do you ever have to go anywhere for people that do exclusive online schooling? Do you have to go anywhere? Here I am complaining that I can't go anywhere, and then when the one chance I talk about something that would require me to go somewhere, I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. Oh my god, I'm such a fucking hypocrite. No, I miss my friends. I miss the people I care about. Strangers and stuff like that, I don't give a shit. Just keep staying away from me. Before I get into the next story, my dudes, don't forget to smash that like button. Let's see if we can get this video to 200 likes. If I can, I promise you, you will have a Karen-free weekend. I absolutely promise you. Alright, don't forget to subscribe and turn on all notifications for future videos just like this one. And let's get into the next story. And this one is called Bride Wanted All of the Art with None of the Talent at a Fraction of the Price. Posted by user Talia Art. First time posting here. My husband reminded me of this as we were reading through the posts here. I remember a few years ago when I was starting out, I used to post ads on Craigslist for painting commissions. Well, one day I'd gotten a request from a woman who had wanted a wedding day portrait of her and her husband. I was like, alright, well, please send me a photo and explain in detail what your vision and what size canvas, and I'll give you a quote. So I'm expecting 1 or 2 photos. This woman sends me the entire iPhone photo album and then adds she wants all her 7 kids included and an arch and all kinds of flowers, and she wants it painted on a huge 36 by 48 inch canvas to hang on her mantle. I'm thinking, whoa, this is huge and expensive. I quote her around $500. This is extremely cheap. Today, I charge more because I actually value my time, supplies, and experience. Choosing Beggar comes roaring. Why is it so expensive? I thought it was gonna be $80 to $100. Can't you just print out the photos and paint over them? This artist in insert location prints them and paints over them for that much. She sends me a crap portrait of her daughters as the Frozen sisters.
See? Can't you do this? Can't you just trace and paint over a photo?
My response: no, I don't paint over photos. I graph and then draw each individual portrait on the canvas. My paints aren't cheap either, as I purchase professional grade paints. My canvas ain't cheap either, and I'm not just a copy and paste type of artist. I would never do this size work with what you're asking for that price. That wouldn't even cover supplies. Sorry, but I can't do this painting for you. Maybe you could find someone else within your price range. Choosing Beggars screams through text.
I'm going to ruin you. You're finished. I know a lot of people in this town. You're not even that good.
My last reply: thumbs up. And that was it. I haven't had one that bad in a long time. My mom commissioned somebody to do a portrait of Mae West. Some of you may or may not know who that is. She was this badass lady from, like, I think the 20s and 30s. She was a sassy lady. The Reddit fairy definitely approves of Mae West. But my mom paid this man that she knew when she was younger to paint this portrait of her, and it turned out it was beautifully. I think my mom paid around $800 Canadian for it. So, yeah, this woman was getting a fucking deal. If this thing is pretty big, this picture that my mom had painted, it was probably the same size that she was requesting. But to have that many people, that's a lot of fucking detail. And to quote $500, yeah. Karen was getting a good deal. That's all I'm gonna say. Jesus Christ. All right, let's get into... No, wait, that's all I have for Choosing Beggars. I have 6 stories today. I decided to do 2, 2, and 2. So 2 Choosing Beggars, 2 I Don't Work Here Lady, and 2 I Do Work Here Lady. So now we're gonna get into the I Don't Work Here Lady stories. And this one is called I Got Fired from Walmart. Never worked there. Posted by user MF Stevenson 1. Obligatory on mobile. Sorry about any formatting issues. About a year ago, I worked selling solar panel systems. This job required me to wear khakis and a blue polo when I was meeting customers. One particular day, after meeting with a homeowner, I had to stop by my local Walmart to get some more pens and a notepad for my work bag. I pretty consistently got asked if I worked there by other customers, and I would help if I knew what they were after. But I always told them that I didn't work there, and they were always kind. So this fateful day, I grabbed my pens and paper and checked out in the self-checkout section. As I was leaving, I heard someone say behind me,
"And just where do you think you're going?"
Now, a little about me. I try to mind my own business as much as possible, and I don't like to get wrapped up in other people's drama. When I hear outbursts like that in public, I assume it's not because of me. I will also try to follow the rules as much as possible. In this case, I assume it wasn't me because I paid for everything, so I continue to my car. Roughly 30 feet from my car, I hear again,
"Hey, you! Stop!"
I do turn around at that one because that's typically what you say to a thief. An employee who can only be described as a Karen is marching towards me, 8 different kinds of pissed off. She starts reaming into me about how I'm abandoning my shift and I'm not supposed to get off for another 3 hours. I'm standing there bewildered because I genuinely have no clue what she's talking about, and I try to let her know that I don't work there, but she won't let me get a word in. Eventually, she says,
"Forget it, you're fired."
I waited about 5 seconds and told her, "I don't work here. I've never worked here." She stared at me and muttered, "Sorry," and ran back inside. I'm still not sure what happened, but that's my tale of being fired from a job I never worked at. Hope it brought you some joy. You gotta think, like, how does somebody who works, like, who's a manager or some kind of supervisor, how do they not know what their employees look like? Like, how do you just assume that just somebody wearing this similar clothes, like, as a supervisor or a manager, you should know the difference between the actual uniform and somebody wearing someone else's uniform or, you know, their own clothes, you know, because they're sticklers in large corporations. If you have even the slightest variation, like differing from their policy on what your uniform should look like, you're gonna fucking hear about it. Because I did. I'm just saying, this, I don't understand how supervisors and managers can mistake customers for employees. I don't get it. Maybe it was a shift change. Who knows? Anyway, let's get into the next story. This one is called Getting Mistaken as a Cast Member During Vacation. Posted by user 2319 Sugar Droid. A very short and sweet post. This happened to me during a couple of trips to the theme park run by a mouse. One trip I got mistaken as a cast member 4 times. I don't remember the interactions, but I was trying to figure out what made them think I worked there. I was wearing t-shirts, shorts, mini ears, and had my crossbody purse on. This past December, I got mistaken for a cast member again. My parents and I were standing in a small vacation club pavilion that was empty, just to chill for a moment. Someone came up to ask something, and I had to say, I don't work there. I told them I wish I worked there. I think the universe is telling me that I need to work there. I find it funny to be mistaken as a cast member, not even looking like one. Great memories. I hope you're all doing well and enjoyed a lighthearted post. That's so funny. I guess, if you love going there, maybe it's something to look into. You never know. Man, I would love to play like Ariel or Sleeping Beauty or something. I think that would be so much fun. But I'm sure there's probably a subreddit of like cast members and how they talk about their horrible, horrible experience. I'm going to have to look for that. See if there's something like that. If you know about something like that, let me know in the comments below. And with that said, we're going to get into some r/IDWHL. And this one is called I'm an assistant coach and the owner's son. No, you are part of this 10 to 12-year-old class. Posted by user Wacy_Ninja. I'm 14 and my dad owns an American Ninja Warrior gym. And I told him I wanted to be a coach when I was 16. Legal age for gyms to hire. And he said, why don't you coach this class for no pay? I of course agreed, and vital mistake for my dad, didn't tell the other coach, female if it matters, that I would be helping her coach. We had a 10 to 12-year-old class currently, and the Karen coach wasn't even in sight. So I lead warm-ups and started with the class. 20 minutes later, she comes back and politely asks, what are you doing? You're not the coach. I politely told her that I was co-coaching and that because she wasn't there, I began the class. Karen coach was having none of it and yelled, you belong in this class and you are no more special than the rest of them. I told her I earned this job, not really a job, and I was also the team captain and was supposedly the best captain ever from the team, and that the owner was my dad. My dad had heard her tantrum and heard her threaten to call the police. My dad fired her on the spot and told her that I was his son, and this was the last straw. I later found out she had missed 10 classes to take a smoke break. I don't know why my dad didn't fire her before, but I know she's not coming back. This isn't the end. No. She called the police for harassment and rape from a 14-year-old and what she thought was a 12-year-old. The cops arrived and literally charged her with a false police report and disturbing the peace. We didn't press charges because I didn't want to go to court. Thanks for listening to my rant, and I hope I didn't come off as spoiled or full of myself. Edit. I am going to press charges as soon as I can. So I guess people were probably coming at him like, you should press charges. I don't know, like this is one of those stories where you're like, did it really happen? Did she really call the police to say rape on a 14-year-old or a 12-year-old, that thought it was a 12-year-old? I don't know. What do you think below? I could be totally wrong. This story could be 100% true, and this woman is a total piece of shit, but let me know in the comments below. What do you think about this story? And with that said, we're gonna get into the last story of the day, my dudes, and this one is called No, It's Not Entrapment. Posted by user ArcCriel, I think. Not my story, but a friend who has passed a few years back who loved to tell this. I've changed the names. I'll try my best to remember the details as it was usually told over one too many beers. As such, I'm sure it has been embellished a bit, but I'll try to remain true to the version I heard. Also, I have no law enforcement background, so if there are technical inaccuracies in process or terminology described here, that is the fault of my interpretation. Feel free to correct me. Every cop has a million stories, but when one warrants endless repetition, you know the people in that story are a special kind of stupid. This is one such story. Let's preface this with a retelling of an old joke I'm sure many of you are familiar with. Two guys are driving down the road and fly by a cop at 50 over the speed limit. The cop's lights go on and they pull over. The driver unrolls his window. The cop tells the men to exit the vehicle and stand to the side. They comply. The cop slaps the driver. Cop: Sir, do you know why I slapped you? Driver: Yes, officer. I was driving too fast. The cop then slaps the passenger. Passenger: What the hell? Why'd you slap me? He was driving. Cop: I thought I'd grant your wish. Passenger: What? Cop: We both know the second you guys pull away, you turn to your buddy and say, Man, I wish he had tried that shit with me. The joke is amusing because we all know that attitude. Everyone has brass balls when they're not the one dealing with the cop. This is something Bill exploited well. Bill was in law enforcement. Part of his job could be thought of as lead generation, looking for illicit goods being transported, largely coming out of the Native American reservations. I know meth was a common focus, or knockoff prescription drugs, car parts from chop shop cars, etc. He had a pretty reliable system for gaining intel. He'd sit at truck shop diners in plain clothes, looking like a trucker, and have a buddy in uniform give him a hard time in front of everyone else. Questions like, Is that rig yours? Where you coming from? I thought I saw you in the weigh-in. Always in the aggressive cop tone. Bill would loudly protest that he wasn't the driver of whatever random truck his cop buddy pointed to, which was true. This feigned, theatrical harassment would go on for a while, and the uniformed cop would leave. Unfailingly, the moment the cop left, someone would walk up to Bill and say, Man, I can't believe these fucking pigs, and then readily exchange stories about their own run-ins with law enforcement. This is not really undercover work. Mostly, it was just his way of screwing around on his lunch break. Eat a meal at a diner, see if anyone is dumb enough to take the bait. Many were. Filled with a false sense of bravado, many would walk up to Bill and tell him how they would have handled the cops, give him pointers on how to evade cops, and in the process, disclose a lot of info about their own shady dealings. As he told it, he'd snag at least one good lead a month doing this a couple times a week at various truck stops. There was a guy who we'll call Tweaker Travis, not the sharpest kid, but he was a regular, a small-time runner who they normally wouldn't even bother with. He mostly just moved cartons of cigarettes for resale without the tax stamp off the res, maybe 20 to 30 a day, maybe a bit of pot. Illegal, but that's not what they were fishing for. They might have ignored him completely, except Tweaker Travis had seen Bill get shaken down by several different cops over the past few months, and in his meth-addled mind, had come to the conclusion that anyone getting that much police attention, but never getting arrested, must be well connected in the criminal underworld, and he wanted in. So what does Travis do? He writes up a resume of his criminal job experience, complete with dates and references, and hands it to Bill. Yes, he put his criminal jacket in resume form, properly formatted and everything, complete with names and phone numbers to all his petty crime buddies, and handed it to a cop. In it, he confessed to several local burglaries, and Bill was forced to arrest him. Normally, when the badge and handcuffs come out, most people would realize they done fucked up, but not our boy Travis. At first, he laughed. Come on, man, quit screwing around. I know you ain't no cop. The handcuffs go on and they walk towards the police car, but Tweaker Travis is falling deeper into denial. He's seen too many movies, and fiction and reality are pretty blurred in his current state of mind. Whoa, you guys have the cops on your payroll? Man, I knew you were connected, but I had no idea you had that kind of pull around here. So what are you guys moving? Travis in the back of the car. Bill is in the front, obviously, and they're driving down the road to the police station. So, hey man, where are we going? Do I have to do an interview or something to start running for you guys? We gonna meet some bosses? The whole handcuff thing, is that like some kind of initiation? Nobody gets a word in with this guy. He's talking a million words a minute in typical tweaker fashion. They're halfway through booking him in before he begins to suspect something is wrong. Finally, he pauses for a moment and goes silent as the gravity of what's happening begins to sink in. At this point, it's been about 45 minutes since the whole fiasco began, and Bill can finally get a word in. In his best cop voice, Bill explains, "Dude, you need to shut up now and call a lawyer. This is not a test or an initiation. I showed you a real badge, handcuffed you, put you in a police cruiser, drove you to the police station."
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense. You're not a cop. You don't work here.
Yes, I am a cop. I showed you my badge.
Wait, why am I under arrest? You didn't tell me you were a cop. This is entrapment.
Cue the next 16 hours of,
"This is entrapment. This is entrapment,"
over and over again. One of the other cops there, after Bill left, apparently recorded it and made it into a techno remix that became the unofficial department ringtone for a while, before it was officially deemed unprofessional, potentially problematic legally, but funny as hell in a memo. If anyone reading this has a copy, please PM me. I would love to post it and would protect my source. It would have been Bill's birthday next month, and I know his kids would love a copy of it. I want to hear this song. I so want to hear this song. Oh, rest in peace, Bill. Shit. That was, okay, this was a good story to end things off with, I think. Oh my god, who does that? He, like, wrote up an entire resume of all the bad, shady shit he did and handed it to who does that? Especially if you're not, like, good friends with somebody, you don't know them. Why? Why would you ever think this was a good idea? But then again, if he's committing all these crimes in the first place, he's probably not the sharpest pencil in the box, my dudes. Just saying. But that's pretty funny. If this really did happen, then wow. Just wow. The I don't know. I don't even know what to call. Like, is it bold, stupid? I don't know. What do you think? Is this a Kevin? Is this guy a Kevin? I think maybe he might be. Oh, all right, my dudes, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. This will be the last episode I ever do. I've decided I'm just going to take a break from YouTube. Maybe indefinitely, maybe permanently. Who knows? I don't know. I just don't, I'm just not feeling it anymore, my dudes. So, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, turn on all notifications for... Wait, no future. Just kidding. April Fools. I'm coming back, bitches. I love you. But seriously, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on all notifications for future videos just like this one. I promise I'm not going anywhere. As always, the links to these stories will be in the description, so head on over to Reddit and show those posters some love with some upvotes. You know they deserve it. And don't forget to submit your stories. The subscriber submitted stories episode is coming. It's coming, I promise. It's slow moving. There's a lot of content and I'm still trying to decide how I want to split it up. So it is coming. I promise you, you will see it. I don't know when. It's coming. That's all I'm going to say. You guys have a fan-fucking-tabulous day and I will see you in the next episode. Peace out, my dudes.